send it.
Okay.
And then I have to put your guys' names.
Yes.
So
Mhm.
do I send her my little doc?
Mhm.
Right? Okay. I
Your
think,
document?
yeah.
What?
The recording, yeah.
Like I have like notes, that's why that I took.
Oh, I think we just send in the recording.
Recording? Okay. Perfect then.
You should be able to like cut out this part too.
Yeah, you can
Mhm.
edit it. Mhm.
I will.
Yeah.
Okay. So do you guys want to start on the different types of adaptations?
Yeah, we can.
Yeah.
So I'll start off with the curricular, adjusting the curriculum to suit the individual learning styles. And then instructional, you have like different teaching methods, so your modalities. And then your assessment, modifying your assessment to meet the student's understanding more effectively. And then environmental, adjusting the physical or sensory environment to fit the student's needs. Anything else that you guys want to add, maybe?
I would add that the modifications are how we're changing what the student learns and is expected to learn versus an accommodation, which is how the student is learning and how we can adapt those things to fit their needs to demonstrate their learnings.
I love that.
Isn't also technology used with that, with like their accommodations and everything?
It can be,
Sure.
yeah. There's a lot of different ones through the reading especially.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at, and there's a lot.
Mhm. Another question was,
What can barriers tell teachers about student learning? And then in your opinion, why do students continue to have these types of barriers?
Could that be because they have anxiety, stress, or some type of like low esteem?
Definitely.
Because
yeah,
that could be significant, that could impact their learning in many ways and try to engage in the classroom. Like, what if they know the answer to the question and they don't want to raise their hand?
Oh, for sure.
That's what has happened even to me. I'm too scared. I'm like, what if my answer is wrong, but teachers don't laugh
right.
at you? Yeah.
The second guess, yeah.
The most successful people and well, yeah, the most successful people in learning are the ones that like make mistakes
And ask questions too.
and ask questions.
That's true.
Another barrier is lack of support.
Yes,
Mhm.
definitely.
Yeah.
Mhm. Different cultures. Like it is,
Marginalized? Is it kind of like that?
yeah.
Mhm.
Um,
And
how
the barriers can tell us like what they're struggling with or need a little bit extra support on or things like that.
oh, for sure, for sure.
Mhm.
Why is an inclusive education important for all students?
Doesn't it ensure them that they all get treated equally and with respect?
Yes,
mm,
definitely that. I think it's also important to see like for an example, when I was working in special education for my first placement, we would bring our like separate students into specials, and then they could interact with gen ed students as well, and they ask questions, and it's nice to have that like community.
Like to make them involved in the community. Yeah.
yeah, a sense of belonging. Everybody wants to feel welcomed and belonged at a place. Like they don't want to feel excluded. I
Yeah.
literally had that same experience with you, Aspen, when I was doing this little kindergarten because I was 8, and they would have like the intensive special needs
Yes,
inside,
that's what I was working with.
yeah, inside like the specials. And I thought that was such a cute idea. I love that idea.
Yeah.
And they get used to it and they are like, oh, we're gonna go over here with the other kids. They don't think as if they're different unless you make them feel different.
Very true. And then another, being prepared. Obviously, the main goal is to have them be self-sufficient. So them wanting to do
Not
it.
you doing it for them. Yeah,
Mhm.
that's true.
Beautiful. hmm
The other question is, what is one thoughtful question that you still have regarding this week's topics?
I kind of did a long sappy one, not gonna lie.
Go for it.
It's like, how can educators effectively collaborate with other special education professionals to implement inclusive practices, provide optimal support for students with extensive exceptional needs?
That's a good question.
That is a good
It's
question.
just very long and like redundant.
And detailed, yeah. No, it's a really good question. No.
But I don't know, because I feel like the little communication between Gen Ed and SPED is like
Yeah, there isn't much.
confusing.
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah.
When I was in the internship, special ed teachers would just not even say hi to each other. They're just going, come up, and they're like, oh, okay. I'm just like, you literally see this person every day, all day, and there's no connection, no friendship, nothing towards each other. Nope.
Awful. So awful.
Well, they're still doing their like meetings. Most schools at least.
Yeah, but it's not the
Yeah.
same as like they have a good relationship as like coworkers. It's like we work together and that's it.
Mhm.
And you can notice, yeah, you notice it when you're in the meeting, they just don't even look at each other, nothing.
Interesting.
That's not a good district. That's not a good school.
My question was, is it going to change throughout the years? Like how everything, like, is it changing throughout every year that they're implementing something new and just taking the old out? Or if they're just making a bigger and bigger and bigger list? That was one of my questions.
I'm just a tad bit confused about it.
So they want to do like let's say like the adaptations, like they have a long list, right? Like you said,
Mhm.
it was curricular and everything. Do they keep adding more things or are they just gonna stay on that?
I feel like they're probably gonna add more. Just how
They just make
everything
it
else
longer? Are they just
evolving,
gonna make it longer or shorter, or they're just gonna make it more complicated for the teachers?
more
That's
complicated. I
that's
feel
what
like
my question is, like, there's nothing easy about being a teacher.
so true.
My question was, so there's a whole bunch of different adaptations and accommodations that you can use, but how are schools getting that financing or where do you like submit that form for that accommodation? Because are we buying it on our own money type thing, or is it through like some kind of
Foundation or something.
yeah.
It's hard for the schools. I understand that because sometimes they don't even have money for sports or anything. How are they gonna have money for like this kind of situation or kind of this is
Right, like
like something that they
alternate
need. Yeah.
seating or like
Mhm.
it mentioned like weighted pencils or reading scanners. I didn't know those existed.
Yeah,
But that's
Scanners?
cool. Like it's like a pen and
that
like
reads.
the words. Yeah.
Yeah,
And it
I've
reads
never seen such a thing.
I have.
right?
Yeah, they are expensive though.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I've
But it
noticed
helps.
that anything that is labeled special needs is like double the price, which is
It's
ridiculous.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Because it's something a student needs.
They need it.
Yeah.
It's not that it's optional. They need it. And what if the parents don't have it? How is the school gonna even help? Because
Right.
they can barely even do it with what they have.
Mhm. Yeah.
Dang. I gotta give. Dang. Yes. Yeah, so true. Where's the money? I need it now.
And no, and there's parents that are like in poverty. Like right now, our like everything is to the ground. Crap. No one has money for anything. What if that kid actually needs something? how are the parents gonna get it?
Mm-hmm.
So
You're so right.
it's hard. I've seen a couple in the internship where there's a kid that had special needs. They didn't have shoes for him, and he takes his dad's shoes.
Mm.
He wears his dad's shoes. Yeah. But he has to have a special type of shoe because he can't walk in those shoes. Has to have like a bridge or something because his foot is like flat and they don't have the money for it.
Oh, that is so sad.
Yeah. It's you see a lot of things I never thought you would see.
Mm-hmm. So then, do you have any other experiences with like special needs?
My son is autistic, so
Oh, beautiful.
it's hard because he doesn't live here with me. He lives in Ecuador with his dad. So
Oh, wow.
he has at least 10 therapies, a specific type of medicine, and everything is paid out of pocket from me and from his dad.
Wow.
Mm.
Yeah. And his dad does not want to send him over here. So, and he is 8.
Oh my goodness. What's his
He's-
name?
Jaden. He's barely wanting to speak. He's barely, he responds after a while, but it's cost a lot of money and time because his dad did not want to accept that he was autistic.
How's the school system there? Do you know? Like, do you?
Yeah, I lived over there for
Okay.
a couple of years. So the system over there is very different from here because they don't believe in much of that because it's like a second world. I don't know what it is that they call it. That they don't have as much kids over there that like here. Here there's such a high rate of kids with like disabilities. Over there isn't. So he has a teacher that sits next to him and helps him. That's $10 a day that I pay. So it's 250 a month. Yeah. 250 a month just for him to help him understand and write everything down. And then his medicine, it's 150 a month.
Does
then-
the school not supply that
No.
aid?
No. The government over there is awful. They don't do maybe they give you like $50 worth of medicine, that's it, a month, and you have to see what you do. Yeah. And the economy over there is horrible too. And right now they're in war, so it's worse. So
I'm so
Yeah.
sorry.
I don't know, I feel at the same time I feel bad because he would give all the signs of being autistic, but I had him when I was 18, so I didn't realize it until maybe 3-4 years later that he was, and I told his dad. And yeah, it's hard because he doesn't he understands maybe 1 or 2 things, but it's his anger issues is horrible. His anger is very, yeah, it's horrible. That's my experience. He is a quiet kid. My 4-year-old is loud. They met, it was like, how do I say, like you mix water and oil.
Oh,
He's like double my size. Yeah, he's huge. And all he did was push her and she flew. She flew. Yeah, he does not like being touched or loud noises or anything, and she's the opposite. So she never grew up with him, so she doesn't understand how to be quiet, how to not touch him, how to like be different. But no, it's hard. Yeah, it's very hard.
my goodness.
If he was here, I think he would have better opportunities at school, maybe more programs, a little bit more resources than over there.
For sure, for sure.
Yeah.
You should,
It's expensive.
if possible, try to, get him to,
Oh,
like,
trust me. We're doing lawyers, we're doing everything right
Oh,
now.
good, good.
Yeah.
I'm sorry you're going through that.
It's hard. It's hard. I have 2 other kids. Neither of them are autistic or anything. They got tested. They're pretty good. Just him.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
beautiful though. You have like, your 3 babies.
My 3 and only no more. That's it.
No more.
No, I got surgery. No more. I'm good.
Oh my goodness. And then Aspen, what's your experience with special needs?
I have
I like
about
hearing Aspen stories.
I have about 2.5 years in severe and profound, so multiple disabilities and medically fragile students. And I got to learn a whole bunch of different things, like different equipment they use, like standers or a Riften or gait trainer, to adapt kind of those things like to PE. They could stand up and kick the ball or um, different things like that. And different like eating utensils for daily activities. That was cool to learn. And right now I am in a autism and behavior classroom
Okay.
and still learning, but I don't know, I think some of my classes will help this year with the behavior.
But you
'Cause
learn throughout the way. That's
yeah,
what everyone has
yes,
told me. You learn throughout the way.
yeah,
Nothing we read will make us like we won't learn.
yeah. No, I agree. Like hands-on is a lot better
Yeah.
than just reading a book and being like, "Oh yeah, that could work."
Do you like your new job now or the one you had before?
I loved the job I had. That's where I found like my love for special education, with those teachers and seeing them interact and creating new like hands-on activities that are sensory friendly and how the students would react toward the teachers. And it was just super nice to see. Um, and that's kind of where I changed my major because I was a psychology major and then was like, actually, this is what I want to do. So I swapped it to SPED, and ideally, I want to work with that population, but I do need my master's and a certificate for that. So
Mhm.
extra work, but
Are both of you
No
guys
payoff.
dual cert?
Yeah, I am doing also dual cert.
Dual
I'm
cert?
doing special education and then a certificate in elementary.
Gen in
I
gen
don't
ed.
know what's the difference because I'm dual cert. Like I'm doing the old program with both elementary and sped.
They
Um,
still offer that.
I'm in the old, I don't know, literally it's so jacked up, it's ridiculous. I'm repeating classes because of
Okay,
it.
yeah. Because I started in that and then they changed it and they were like, we're not doing that anymore. And I was like, okay, so I'll do special ed as my main major because
and
that's what I,
then certified. Yeah, as gen ed. That's what I'm doing too.
yeah. And they still keep changing things. Like, I'm like,
Oh,
what?
they change every like they email you every couple of weeks. Hey, are you still gonna do this? So, yeah.
Sometimes I don't even get the email. Like, when I was signing up for classes for this semester, I was like, none of these courses are showing up. And then I emailed my advisor and she was like, oh my goodness, you didn't get like that email. We redid all of the courses. And I was like,
No, bitch.
You have to
right?
cut that out.
Oh, I will. I will. I will. Oh my goodness. That is so funny.
Yeah.
So I feel like you guys are like you guys have way more experience than me. Like
Oh
'cause
no,
I
no, I
seriously
don't have any
don't-
experience. Nope. Nope. I'm reading as much. I barely am in a classroom last semester. That's it. But I read a lot. I've been in classes for about this one more year and I graduate.
Oh yeah,
But
me
I
too.
don't know anything. Nope.
All of us. Yee.
Yes.
Yeah. It's hard. It's hard because no matter how much you read, you're in the same situation you read, you're in person, it's not the same.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm
you
really glad that I'm doing like full-time para right now because then I can see it every single day versus like little snippets of
Yes.
yeah.
an internship.
I wish I could do that too, but it's a
Hard
little
though.
hard. Yeah. I work in a preschool where my two kids are. So I don't see as much special ed like cases like I would in a elementary or middle school. But yeah.
Well, do you guys have anything else then? I feel like we discussed everything.
I think we covered
I'm
everything.
gonna cut out, the last part and the first part.
Yeah, that's fine. I don't mind.
Oh,
I wonder if we're meeting
fine.
like us three like all the time, or does it change?
I
It
don't.
depends. If you want to be in the same group, I usually tell her that when I'm in a different class, like, hey, put me with these two girls that I was with last semester, and she
Okay.
does it.
Oh, perfect then. Okay.
I'm
Mhm.
fine with this group.
Me
I am
too.
too.
That's why I'm like, oh, okay, I like this group.
Right.
I had Aspen last semester too.
Oh,
Yeah.
so sweet.
Yeah.
So you know each other chemistry.
We were never in a group. I don't think we were ever in a group.
I don't
Maybe
think
once.
I think one time
once.
we,
That
yeah.
was it. Mm-hmm.
I'm actually gonna stop
I
recording.
think